Today on our show.
Am I supposed to say something?
Today on our show.
We are going to review this week's comics.
That's right. And we're also doing shit. Today on our show. What are we doing, Shauna? Besides giggling.
We're reviewing this week's Books of the Week.
Books of the Week.
I gotta do it again.
Son of a bitch. Today on our show.
We are, of course, reviewing our favorite comics of the week.
That's what we do. We're also doing nerd news, and we're reading your viewer emails right here on Chuck Load of Comics. Hello and welcome to Chuck Load of Comics. I'm Chuck Lindsay.
I'm Shauna Lindsay.
And today we're going to be reviewing comics. We're doing lots of cool shit today. But first we're going to let's read some emails. People send us emails. They ask us questions.
Yep.
Let's get to some of those. Shauna, what's the first email of the day?
The first, we don't have any emails.
That's right. We don't have any emails because we just opened up a brand new fucking email account.
Yeah.
So we just did this last night at the bar. So yeah, we have no fucking emails. But
that being said,
send us some emails.
Questions, comments, anything you want to send.
Yeah.
chuckloadofcomics@gmail.com.
Chuckloadofcomics@gmail. I've never had a Gmail before. This is new. Do you have a Gmail?
Yeah, I have a Gmail. Gmail's great.
I got one now.
Google's kind of awesome, but they kind of monitor everything, so.
Huh. Oh! Something's different, right?
Huh?
Check it out. New backdrop, new set. Moving on up, people. Changing things up.
Moving from the kitchen to the living room.
Why we didn't use the comic book wall as a backdrop to begin with? Who the hell knows? Seems like a no-brainer. But, welcome to our living room.
Yeah.
If you ever come over and have a drink, this is probably what you're going to see.
Yep.
So it's time for Nerd News!
Nerd News!
After facing numerous roadblocks, Star Trek Discovery has finally begun production. In a video released last week, CBS provided fans a peek behind the curtain with our first look at some of the new designs, including uniforms, set production, and of course, the new ship itself. Although CBS has yet to announce a release date, it is known that the series will premiere on television with all subsequent episodes streaming online at CBS All Access.
It should come as no surprise that Warner Brothers has already begun pre-production on a sequel to last year's financially successful Suicide Squad. What may come as a shock, though, is that the studio is now looking at Academy Award winner Mel Gibson to direct the film. The first film received mostly negative reviews, but was a colossal hit at the box office, earning over $700 million worldwide. Gibson has confirmed that he is in talks with Warner Brothers, but said that it's still kind of a first date.
Netflix announced last week that an R-rated animated series based on the vampire-slaying video game Castlevania is already in production. Although very few details have surfaced about the show, a Castlevania spokesperson has said it's going to be R-rated as hell, adding, "This is very much a Castlevania done in the vein of Game of Thrones." Netflix says part 1 of the series will air sometime in 2017 and will consist of 4 30-minute episodes. So there you go. There's nerd news.
Ta-da!
Cool
Holy cow.
stuff. Okay, first of all, Mel Gibson as a director for Suicide Squad 2.
Mel Gibson as a director is amazing, but I'm just a little nervous about his comic book debut.
Right, because if you remember, Mel Gibson actually is the guy that said that he doesn't like comic book movies. He shit
really?
all over Batman, Superman, which a lot of people shit all over Batman, Superman, but he was very anti. He said comic book movies are basically crap right now.
Huh.
But maybe he's got a point? I don't know. I'm a devil's advocate. I love every movie I ever see. I mean, I'm a horrible critic because I love everything. Except for Suicide Squad. I thought that movie sucked.
I thought it was okay. But
I'm for it, man. If you can get Mel Gibson on board, you could do a lot worse than an Academy Award winning director.
That's true.
And
very true.
he's not going to take any shit from the studios.
Yeah, that's also true. I hope he wouldn't.
It's kind of a good thing. I'm kind of digging the Mel Gibson thing.
Yeah.
What I'm really excited about is Star Trek Discovery, but I'm a little confused. What do you think about them airing all the shows online as opposed to on TV? Good sign or bad sign?
I don't know. It could go either way because on one side, they're saying, oh, here's our show, here's the pilot on television, and then they're like, it sucks so bad that we're just going to dump the rest of them online.
Yeah.
Or it could be them trying to compete against Netflix and
That's
Amazon.
Where I'm thinking maybe this is
in the
CBS
streaming network
saying, you know what,
era.
We need to get on this online bandwagon, this streaming bandwagon. Let's put our best foot forward.
Yeah.
Star Trek's the best thing we got right now. Let's make that reflect, because that's exactly what Netflix did with House of Cards.
Way.
How many people subscribed to Netflix after House of Cards premiered?
Yeah, that was
Millions.
Big.
Put their best show out, pump it out online as for streaming. So that has got me hopeful for Star Trek Discovery. Coming out God knows when. That they haven't said when the hell they're actually going to premiere it.
Speaking of God.
Let's do some comic book reviews. Let's skip right over Castlevania. We'll talk about that next time.
Oh no, sorry.
No. Check out the variant covers we have here. So we got Kill or Be Killed, God Country. These covers probably look somewhat familiar to you if you're into comics at all. What does this look like? It looks very reminiscent to a Walking Dead cover, Walking Dead #1. Andy, you know what this looks like. This is very reminiscent to Savage Dragon #1. Image is celebrating currently their 25th anniversary. So in honor of their 25th anniversary, they are doing variant covers of their classic books, their #1 books.
#1 issues, yep.
So Kill or Be Killed's doing Walking Dead, God Country's doing Savage Dragon, East of West is doing Youngblood. They're mixing it up, and they're really, really cool. You should check them out. It's a really clever ass idea, and they're hard to find. So
That's true.
We got lucky. We talked to Chicago Comics and said, order us these books, and they did.
They did.
No extra charge. Thank you, Chicago Comics. Check them out. But anyway, they're pretty badass. We'll put up the side-by-side comparisons right now. Kill or Be Killed, Walking Dead, God Country, Savage Dragon. And now you've seen them.
The miracle of video editing.
Video editing on your cell phone. Shauna?
Yes?
Want to review a book?
Of course. So, Chuck has already talked about Kill or Be Killed in previous episodes, but
Such a good book.
It's so good that we just thought we had to talk about it again, plus the whole Image 25th anniversary thing going on, and the fact that it's issue 6, so it's going to be really easy to catch up. The first arc is available by trade at your local comic book shop. It's issues 1 through 4. So you could easily, I'm sure, find issue 5 at your local comic book store and then pick up 6, which is what we're going to talk about here in a second. But the basic premise of Kill or Be Killed is your main character, Dylan, has been, or he kind of made a deal with a demon or the devil, or we're not quite sure, some kind of evil being, to where as long as he continues to kill people, he's gonna feel good. It's just probably not.
Taking notes?
I don't know.
All you psychopaths out there, kill people, feel better about yourself.
Feel better about yourself. Well, anyway, moving on. So Dylan has decided, well, if he's got to kill people, he's gonna kill bad people. So he tries to seek out the bad people in his neighborhood, whether it be like child molesters or, just some guy that's putting poison in dog food. Like it varies. Bad, horrible thing. Why would you do that? But or rat poison. Did I say dog poison? Whatever.
Did they make dog poison?
They make dog poison.
Google that.
That should
dog
not
poison.
be a thing.
Send us an email about dog poison to chuckloadofcomics@gmail.com.
Hopefully that's not a thing. But anyway, moving on.
There's your word.
Issue number 6 is great because they actually, up until now, Dylan has been the main character, and he is it's like a first-person story. He's talking about his ongoings and things that are happening with him. But this issue actually introduces a new... What?
So think about dog poison. Go ahead.
No, dog voice. I think that's kind of what I said, but maybe. Anyway, new character, Lily Sharp, who is a detective in this issue, and she is actually on the trail of Dylan and his bad doings of killing people. Chuck's still laughing about dog poisoning.
Dog poison. I'm sorry, I'm ruining this for you. Continue.
That's fine. That's pretty much all I got. I mean, it's a great.
Be professional.
It's a great issue. I mean,
YouTube, goddamn.
YouTube is so professional. Anyway, we're introducing this new character, and it's kind of cool because, well, you got Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, who are
fucking amazing.
Running
amazing
this
writers.
whole arc or series. They've done the Fallout most recently, which
Criminal.
is amazing. It's in Criminal as well. The art's amazing. The writing's amazing. Ed Brubaker throws in this little kind of commentary thing in the back, which is really cool to read.
Yes.
It talks about how what he's currently reading and what he's watching on TV or Netflix or whatever, and it's kind of cool to read that and catch up on things.
Yeah, he's the reason
So.
that I really want to watch Mr. Robot, which I haven't even started yet.
And also Atlanta. He mentioned Atlanta.
He loves Atlanta. He does this, he does like 2 pages of shit I'm doing.
Just
and
this is
you
what
should
I like.
be doing too. And he's not far off. He's pretty pretty smart guy. And he's an amazing writer.
Yep.
Kill or Be Killed, you gotta check out.
Check it out.
And I like what they did in this issue because, as Shauna said, up till now it's been
First person.
very first person. The guy learning how to kill people. If you've never killed anybody, it's not that easy. To start to get into the killing people game, it's tough. I should know.
We won't talk about that.
So it's been that kind of up until now. Now they're actually introducing new characters, and it's going to be the detective. So they're going to be. You're going to have this. It's almost like 2 books, man. You could have a book about trying to catch this guy, while you have a book about the guy trying to kill people. And the only reason he's killing people is so he can stay alive and not get eaten by a demon or something like that.
We're not
I
quite
kind of
sure
forget.
yet, but it's good.
I mean, there's so much in these issues that. What's your password? Her password is
I almost said it.
Bosco. Bosco. You're a chocolate man.
Savage Dragon.
Speaking of Savage Dragon, man, what a segue. This looks just like Savage Dragon #1, right? But it's not. It's God Country, which is the best book out there right now. Let me say that again. If you're looking for a comic book to start, God Country.
It's only
Fucking
issue 2,
God
so
Country.
it's easy to catch up, and yeah, it's pretty great. It would have been my pick of the week.
But I beat her
Kill
to
or
it.
Be Killed.
I got up at 6:30. She slept till 10. So I said, I read God Country, and I said, mine. Yeah, it's that good.
That's what happened.
But it's like she said, it's only on issue 2. You can easily start it. Go to your local comic book shop. If you're in Tallahassee, go to Cosmic Cat. If you're in Richmond, go to Dave's Comics.
If you're in Chicago, go to Chicago
In
Comics.
Chicago, go to Chicago Comics on Clark Street, north of Belmont.
In Lakeview.
If you're in Denver, go to Mile High Comics. If you're in New York, go to Midtown Comics.
We could go on forever.
And if you're, if you're in Quincy, just order that shit on Amazon. Anyway, so God Country just started, really easy to get. It's by Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw. Anything you can get by Donny Cates, you should absolutely fucking get. The man's an incredible writer, and this book is a credit to his badassness. What's it about? We've talked about God Country before. I think this is our very first review video we did. We briefly talked about God Country. So a quick catch up. It takes place in rural Texas. It's about this family living in some barn in the middle of Texas somewhere, in the middle of the plains. Are there plains in Texas?
Maybe.
Desert, plains, whatever. There's a family in the desert. Okay, and it's mother, father, baby, child, and a grandfather. The grandfather's got Alzheimer's disease, and he's mean as shit. He's violently mean. He's going nuts. It's a real burden on the family. It's a real, just heartbreaking story. This family with the grandfather that they're taking care of, who has Alzheimer's, is just mean as shit to him. It's breaking the family apart. Really, really bad shit's going on in the family.
Wife wants to leave.
Wife wants to leave, wants to take the kid and leave. Go back east, whatever it is you do when you're in that situation. And So then right as the wife is leaving, this tornado, massive fucking tornado rolls into town and lays waste to the house, demolishes the house. What a sad story we're at. But as soon, when that happens, what is coming with the tornado but a giant demon? Not the same demon from
different demon.
Different demon. But it's another demon and a magical sword. So a demon and a sword come to
rural Texas.
Bumfuck rural Texas. Sounds cheesy, but it's so
It's
good.
pretty good.
It's written so well and it's illustrated so well. And so the old man, Alzheimer's grandfather, his name's Emmett, by the way. Emmett is the main character of the book. He gets the sword and he proceeds to battle said demon, lays waste to the demon, kicks the demon's ass. And the sword, this magical sword, now has cured his Alzheimer's. He recognizes his son, he recognizes his granddaughter.
Yep.
Happy fucking story. What a great ending. And then, of course, issue number 2. So how am I doing on issue number 1? We're done? Okay, we're cool? All right,
great.
issue number 2. Emmett takes the sword and with his magical badass sword winds up using the sword, the magic of swords, fixes the house. I'm going off track here.
It's okay, you're all good.
So he grabs the sword, he fixes the house with the power of swords.
He fixes the house, like he takes the hammer and nails.
Just with the sword,
With the sword,
whacking in nails. No,
he
it's magical,
rebuilds the house with the magical sword. The sword is actually, what's the sword's name?
The sword's called
actually
Valofax.
Valofax.
It is
It's
the
like
god
an actual
of swords.
being.
And how does he know that? A celestial being dressed like a gladiator. He looks like, you ever seen the movie The Gladiator? Looks just like that. Russell Crowe basically appears in the book and explains to
Not
him.
Mel Gibson.
Explains to him what the sword is. And like we said earlier, the sword is the god of swords. It's every sword you've ever heard of.
Yeah, it's the sword that Excalibur is based off of, is what they go on to say. It's like, oh, well, I've heard of magical swords like Excalibur, and then
that was this
celestial
sword.
being says, no, that's not a real
Sword
thing.
in the stone, that was this sword.
Yeah, that was
Any
it.
sword, it was this
magical.
sword. It's the most powerful thing out there, and everybody wants it. So obviously this guy shows up, this celestial being gladiator motherfucker shows up, and he wants the sword, but in the nicest way. And Emmett,
He's pretty nice.
they have this hilariously just bro moment, man, where they go for a walk out in the yard and they're talking about the sword and they're talking about all this and that. It's fantastic. The writing is just so great. And so Emmett says, no way, you can't have the sword. I know you want it, but I think I'm gonna hold on to it for a little while because it cures
me.
my Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
I remember my daughter, my granddaughter, my son. I remember everybody. You can't have it. So Aristus, who is the name of the gladiator guy, says, all right, man, it's your sword. The sword picked you, you can keep it. But next time we meet, we might not be buddies, just so you know. It's like, okay. So Aristus takes off. Gladiator guy hauls ass back into space. He goes and meets back with his father, who really wanted the sword and sent him to Earth to go find it, and basically says, hey man, Emmett won't give up the sword. It's go time.
Take it for yourself.
So there's a big fucking war coming over this sword, and we're only up to issue 2. All that shit has happened in 2 tiny little comic books.
Great.
That's how awesome this book is. The writing is so incredible. So check it out. God Country 1 and 2. Buy them both.
From Image Comics.
Image Comics.
Donny
Shauna?
Cates, yes. Kill or Be Killed.
Hi.
Hello.
Kill or Be Killed. Also an incredible book. So these are 2 amazing books. Gotta check them both out. All you people at Chicago Review of Books, these are killer books. And
Yep, good place to get started. Independent comics, non-Marvel superhero, but still awesome.
so that's our picks for this week. Let's talk about next week's books, shall we?
Of course. Why not?
Next week, we've got Descender number 19. Shauna loves Descender.
Descender's my book.
Revival 47, which is the
Revival.
final book of Revival. If you've been reading Revival, this is it. Last one, done. 47 issues,
Yep.
they're out the door. Captain America 12. Captain America, if you're not
Captain
reading
America
this run
Steve
of Captain
Rogers.
America, Captain America Steve Rogers, number 12.
Not
This
Falcon,
has been
but,
a badass
It's been great.
run of Captain America. So we're only up to 12. You can catch up if you really want to. Deadpool the Duck, number 4.
Also a fun read.
Fucking love that book. Deadpool the Duck is great. Avengers vs. X-Men, number 5. Rocket Raccoon, number 3. Spider-Man Deadpool, which
Also
is
fun.
always a good read. Always a good read. Such
Ed
a good
McGuinness,
book.
great
Ed
stuff.
McGuinness, Joe Kelly.
Joe Kelly.
Joe Kelly.
Good
And
stuff.
Thanos, number 4.
Thanos. It's a good book.
Thanos has been a lot of
It's
fun.
been fun. Written by Jeff Lemire, right? Who
Also
writes
wrote Descender. Bam!
So
it's all it's
I know,
circular.
it flows into it. And then, so we have Descender and Revival coming out next week, which are also Image books, which are
Right.
also part of this 25th anniversary cover
Forgot about that.
series. So,
Do you know who's
if you
doing?
can-
You know which ones they're copycatting?
no, I don't.
Neither do I. Look it up. Google it.
But this come out next week with the 25th anniversary. What do we call these? Alternate covers?
Variant cover.
Variant covers. I do know that. I
Research.
just can't remember.
So what are you most excited about next week?
Descender! I'm a huge Descender fan. Like I
too.
may have said before, I got into comic books and I was more into the independent stuff, not the superhero stuff. I was like, superheroes are for boys, and I don't care about that
She
crap.
said that too. She said
Probably
superheroes are
did.
for boys.
Which is ridiculous.
Take that, Captain Marvel.
I take that statement back. I love the superhero comics now. I like Marvel. I like DC. Well, more so Marvel than DC, but anyway, we won't go there. But Descender was one of those books that drew me into comics.
And it's an outstanding book. And the movie rights have been
fantastically-
bought, I think, by Sony.
Yeah,
So you may see a
interesting.
Descender movie someday. Probably not,
Jeff
but you might.
Lemire, Dustin Nguyen, amazing art. Very
I like Deadpool the Duck.
I also like that.
If you haven't seen our review of that, it's Deadpool and Howard the Duck merge and become Deadpool the Duck.
Hopefully you know who both of
It
those
took
characters
3
are.
issues to establish that. Actually, it took about 2
No, it
pages to
took-
establish that.
Took 2 pages to establish that,
Yeah.
I think, actually, in the first issue, which you reviewed already.
Yeah, it's a fucking great book.
That's a good book.
So, anyway, from Robin and Shauna and Chuck, thank you for watching. Email us at chuckloadacomics@gmail.com. Send some comments down on the YouTube page. Fucking hit subscribe to the channel. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.